Looks like they are going to be doing a tri-lane versus tri-lane at top, so doing all they can to stop the anti-mage from farming up. And that's with the
maybe
Tide
even an early engagement here. It looks like Tide moving in, looking for a chance to gush, but not really seeing anything.
Yep.
Ooh, Nuke going down on that.
He may regret that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking. Obviously, that cooldown on Blink so high early on. It looks like we're going to see a Windrunner out of Windrunner retreating back and resetting things while Shadow Shaman hits pause. And I guess Link having some issues, maybe? Hotkeys not working.
Okay. Buggy client, that is Dota 2.
Yeah, it's funny. We talk about it not being a very buggy game, and for the most part, it is pretty good. But there are some little moments like that where it's just, oh, well, oops. So I think we will see, they are going to go ahead and unpause here. In terms of lanes, it looks like we are going to see Morana bottom up against Doom solo.
Yeah.
And did you just freeze, or is that just me?
No, mine's running for snooze. I had to restart it a couple times. I have had some issues, but I'm just going to credit that to my shitty Australian internet. Is yours working okay now?
Yeah, maybe. Have to shake it a little, try and get it working. The wonders of restreaming, right, guys? Keep it challenging.
Yeah.
Oh, good God, what is this? Give me 1 second. I am going to have to try and get this reworking. Good gosh almighty. Okay.
Haven't missed out on too much yet, so we're looking okay.
I'll just catch right back up if it does get away from me. There we go. I think we are back online, good to go. Just checking through, making sure everything is okay. Okay, so there we go. We are back in game. I've got 53.
I'm at further ahead. I'm at 114 actually.
Jesus.
You can just go from there. If it's fine, just go from there.
Yeah, let's go from one. You can maybe pause or something. Anyway, so it looks like we are going to see both teams getting into that tri-lane formation. Venomancer, Crystal Maiden, and Anti-Mage in that top lane up against Vengeful Spirit, Tidehunter, and Windrunner. Just based on heroes alone, I mean, who would you predict to win that lane? Let's say we remove all other factors.
The Sentinel do have the stronger trial, and they can just harass a lot better because they're they harass fairly even, both teams with two ranged heroes. But the fact is, the Sentinel carry hero, the one they want getting the farm, the Windrunner, is ranged, whereas Anti-Mage, if he wants to go in for farm, he's melee. He's going to get hit, gushed, and stunned every time he tries to go in for creeps, or if he does go in a bit too far, he's going to get just harassed down very hard, and that's going to make it very hard for him to farm. Whereas Windrunner should have a fairly easy time.
Mm-hmm. Over in the middle lane, looks like Ancient Apparition and Shadow Shaman are going to trade a couple blows, both of them getting down to about half health and popping their salves, just resetting that fight. Fairly standard.
Yeah, that's going to be a fairly even matchup. I mean, I think AA has a very slight advantage with the harass and just, I think, has slightly higher base damage. But Ras is going to be going for that early bottle and be looking to get those runes, probably more so than AA. AA going to just be looking to more sort of sit in lane, get levels, and not waste time getting runes. Going to probably just go straight for boots and maybe not even get a bottle, depending on what he decides is more important.
Mm-hmm. Up in the top lane, it looks like Anti-Mage is going to take a couple auto-attack hits. GG doing a good job of harassing Sushi over there on that Anti-Mage, trying to keep the pressure on him so that they can force him back and get through all those regenerative items. Looks like Shadow Shaman has picked up a bottle, which, again, is what you would expect.
Yeah. And bottom lane Doom against Priestess, pretty even matchup there. I mean, you think sort of Rain Hero beats a melee hero, but it's at Doom's tower. Doom with the Stout Shield as well just gives him, can basically take a lot of harass from the Priestess. And with the Scorched Earth, he can basically get free regen from that, so he should do pretty well against the Priestess.
Absolutely. It looks like Team Monkey was going to go for a gank there, but Doom wisely catching Miggle coming in and obviously able to back off to that tower just in time without any real damage taken.
That hurts the Rasta a lot. I mean, he wasted all that time heading all the way bottom while AA is just free farming at mid, getting levels, and that's not going to be something he's happy about. And then having to buy a TP to TP back mid, so AA probably about to hit level 6, while Rasta's only level 5 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Shadow Shaman getting a stun from that cold feet, deciding to stay in position rather than move back and lose a little bit of experience there. He will be able to refill his bottle with that haste rune. Should help him a little as AA is pretty low on mana right now. Gosh, I wish I had my overlays to pull up and talk about stuff and talk about what we're seeing. It's like, geez, I want to click things.
Yeah.
Shadow Shaman getting pretty close to level 6. He's about halfway through level 5 right now. And just continuing to do a little bit of farm. Up at the top, nothing too wild and crazy. I think both teams are trying to be fairly respectful of one another. AA has just hit 6, and we'll see if that changes the dynamic, I think.
Yeah, AA ulti actually going to be coming out top probably fairly soon. And if those AA ultis can hit this top lane with this stun from VS, the Tide Gush, they could be finding some kills at this top lane very easily with the tri-lane there.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see a hit on that Venomancer, and bang, there's First Blood for Vengeful Spirit. 410 gold straight to her, and really good coordination by Virus there. I'm pretty impressed, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like we're seeing exactly what you're talking about, is that combination of Gush, Stun, Shackle Shot, Power Shot, and oh, by the way, here's an AA ultimate. Shadow Shaman way out of position here, taking a whole lot of damage. He's just barely going to be able to retreat, going through his charges on that rune, and it looks like the Dire are going to be able to take out Vengeful Spirit.
Rasta even comes back in. Wow, this is going very well for the Dire here.
Yeah, very bold move by Rasta, coming in, and actually I think he got a kill for his trouble with that Chain Lightning, just dipping out of the way of the AA ultimate and retreating back into the forest. He should be okay. Yeah,
so, I mean, despite the First Blood for Virus, this Rasta actually has some well-timed ganks here, whereas AA coming top, not actually getting much for his efforts.
Yeah, and what's going to be sort of a consolation prize is that AA is able to get back into that mid lane a lot more easily. Rasta's still retreating to base. He's going to have to buy a TP back in. Meanwhile, AA is back in there farming, getting that experience. So, not quite where he'd like it to be, but it will make up for that.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the limitations of picking the AA at the moment. It can't really gank all that well, and even in team fights, all it's got really is its ultimate. Once you pop that ultimate, sure, you've got the Cold Feet, the Ice Vortex, but they don't really do much disable. They're not all that stronger skills. It's all about that ultimate. So in a team fight, if you don't hit the ultimate, if you miss your ultimate or something, you're suddenly not having a very big impact in the game as an AA. So really, it's one of those heroes which is just so reliant on just one spell, which is probably why it's become less popular as of late.
Right, and that's why we could possibly be seeing Lich moving into a little bit more prominence in that metagame, is because he's got good teamfight ultimate as well as all those utility things, rather than being a one-trick pony. Looks like what
time are you at in the?
I'm at 7:37 right now.
Okay, mine's actually just frozen once again. I love my Australian internet.
Venomancer moving around in that forest near the middle lane. Mine actually just froze too, so it might not just be you. Venomancer moving around in that forest near the middle lane. We can see him down here on the minimap, looking for a chance to come in behind. Shadow Shaman moving up a little bit, and sort of feinting around. I think AA's got to be really careful here. If we see a coil on him from that Shadow Shaman, Venom Spray just equals nowhere to go.
Yeah.
that's exactly how it breaks down. And we do see that coil in there. Venom Spray coming in a little bit late. Actually, a Cold Feet stunning Shadow Shaman, and he does go down to that Shatter. And maybe a little over aggressive, but they might be able
Tower
to
will go down though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually down to 140 health, tanking some of those. Some of those creeps. And here comes Venomancer, straight to the death chamber. Vengeful Spirit and Gush, just a lot of damage there from that Tidehunter.
Yeah. Oh wow, I think I'm a bit ahead of you, so I don't want to spoil too much. I'll let you do the play-by-playing.
Yeah, Morana comes in here, double kill and a killing spree, triple kill actually, excuse me. She managed to take out AA as well as Vengeful Spirit and Tidehunter. Great play by Angel there. Taking full advantage of the fact that he's been able to solo and get some good items, get that farm going, and just dump straight in there doing quite a few kills. He's at 2k in the bank, plus some boots, plus a bottle, plus his magic wand finish, so he's definitely prepared to start picking up items and really get some momentum going. He's level 10 right now.
Oh wow, yeah, he's had a great start to this game, and we'll be seeing him get involved very soon, I imagine.
Yeah, he's actually headed up top, and bang, Tidehunter going down almost instantly. Couple of hits, he eats an arrow, he eats the Starstorm, he goes down, and that's 225 gold from Morana. What are some of the options that the Radiant have for responding to this Priestess of the Moon that's getting such ridiculous momentum going?
I mean, they're going to have to just sort of ward up, stick together, basically just try to track the Priestess, where Priestess is going on the map, which lanes Priestess is ganking, and just really not let their heroes get caught out of position, because if Priestess comes in top with the CM Venomancer there, it's going to be free kills every time when they have those 4 heroes. So they're going to have to really stick together well. Try to get that Tide ulti up as well. I don't think Tide has hit that level 6 yet. You can get that level 6 soon. That will be a much needed Ravage that will come into play.
Absolutely. What's your time at right now?
I've actually just restarted the stream once again.
I just did too. Owned having a little bit of trouble. Currently the score is about 8-5, with the lead being handed to Monkey. We've seen a couple good ganks out of that Priestess of the Moon, and like Gods was saying, is they need to be aware of exactly what's going on. Because if they don't, if she's able to just roam around without being questioned or watched, that just spells doom for the Radiant. There's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do if she can just get all that farm going. Yeah,
that's the worrying thing, is that Priestess is actually like a good carry here. They've got the anti-mage, but Priestess as well can out-carry a Doom, can out-carry a Windrunner, so really Priestess a very strong hero, and has some very strong carry potential on his own, so they're going to have to really not let Priestess get too out of control. They can't just focus all their efforts on shutting down the anti-mage.
Right. And, we are going to see Priestess get caught here. She does eat a Doom, she eats a Cold Feet, as well as that Ice Vortex does go down to the Doombringer. That does break the streak. He picks up about 250 gold. He's going to get caught here by that Shackle and that Venom Spray out of the Venomancer. They are not able to seal the deal. And, sort of going back to what you're saying about, Priestess being a carry unto herself, it makes me wonder a little bit, like, when they saw that Priestess pick plus the anti-mage, why didn't we see a little bit more early game centric build out of for Virus, so they're able to push and try and end the game sooner, because right now as the teams are set in terms of picks, they're just going to lose if the game runs out. Sorry,
they should have been the ones picking up the Raster, the Leshrax, those heroes that can actually push down towers, and then they want to be the ones putting on pressure onto the enemy team, because the Monkey are the ones with all those carry heroes, and then Virus is just sitting back. They're focused on on winning their lanes, but they haven't actually focused on pushing down towers or putting any pressure onto the other team. I mean, they're just having a look at the CS board that was popped up. Windrunner has double Anti-Mage's CS, but that's not really going to matter. Anti-Mage hasn't died. Priestess has just as much CS as the Windrunner anyways, and give Anti-Mage time and he'll get farmed, even if his CS right now isn't all that high.
Right. And we just see continued ganking coming out of that Priestess. Tidehunter just fell in that top lane. And hitting a little bit of lag right now just with the streams. I think it's an owned.tv issue.
I've got that lag as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something they're all fighting. Big Ravage there actually takes out Shadow Shaman outright, forcing back that Anti-Mage, and Morana's going to wisely beat a retreat. Not enough mana on that Windrunner to seal the deal with a power shot, and we are going to see Windrunner just barely escape. Doom on Anti-Mage, will they be able to close the deal, though? They're chasing him in. We are going to see maybe a Cold Feet out of that AA. He doesn't have enough mana. Windrunner at 80, or sorry, Anti-Mage at 80 health. He does pop that final charge on his wands, and he's able to blink out, just surviving. I can't help but feel like that should have gone a little bit differently. That fight should have been in the favor of Virus, and they needed to kill that Anti-Mage. Like, they can't just leave him with 0 deaths.
Yeah, especially I think that's the Tide's first ulti of the game, and not having the impact that he was probably hoping to have with it, and not getting a whole lot from it. So really, Virus are on the back foot here, and they need to start. I'm not sure what they can do, because they can't say, okay, we're behind, we need to start pushing towers, get an advantage like that, because they haven't really got heroes that can push all that well.
Right.
Whenever they go to, they're just going to see Priestess coming in with basically the Rasa as well, just counter pushing them, and it's not going to look pretty for them if they do just push into these Scourge teams. So I'm not quite sure what they can do apart from try and look for some ganks, but when it comes down to it, Scourge are going to be out farming them, and it's going to be an uphill battle from here for Virus.
Absolutely. Now, they are doing something that might be able to help. Actually, no, gosh. AA whiffing his ultimate. A little bit of damage being applied to that Venomancer, but he is going to be able to retreat. And up in the top lane, it looks like Vengeful Spirit just went down to Shadow Shaman. Doom's going to have to retreat. He's at 0 mana and half health, and I think they're just going to pick up this tower here without much in the way of an answer.
Yep, there we go. So TP is actually coming in after it goes down, but not going to find too much from that.
Windrunner with an attempt at picking off that Crystal Maiden there isn't going to be able to do it, though. I think you're quite a ways ahead because that tower hasn't gone down yet.
Oh wow!
You must be speaking.
I just refreshed it, so I like this. I can pretend to speculate about stuff, and then it's going to happen, and I'll just sound like the most intelligent caster ever.
You're literally casting with the complete knowledge of, or you're psychic. You know exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish every cast was like.
I know, right? Wouldn't it make life perfectly easy? Like, oh well, I predict they're gonna pick these. Sadly, no. Now it looks like we may see something of a counter push here. There are some boards from that Venomancer, so I don't know how much damage they're really going to be able to do to this tower without ending up tanking it. Doom dancing back and forth, trying to make sure he doesn't get targeted, but ends up being targeted anyway. And, 4 members of the Radiant here, do you think that the Dire are even going to bother to respond, or are they just going to push and take another tower? We see them attacking that mid-internal tower.
Well, me from the future says they're not going to respond, so...
I love it.
Some response in one of the other lanes, though.
There you go.
They're just saying they don't care about that top tier 1 tower. They'll let Virus dedicated 4 heroes to that push, so they don't even care. They'll let them have that, and they'll just focus on getting their Anti-Mage and their Priestess farmed in other lanes. And as long as Priestess and Anti-Mage aren't being pressured, they're not going to worry about losing 1 tier 1 tower when they've already pushed 3 towers of their own. So they're not really behind on the tower gold at all.
We're going to see a big gank here. Ultimate in by Team Monkey. They do take out Ancient Apparition, doing a whole lot of damage. Anti-Mage finishing off that Windrunner, getting in there. A lot of damage. She managed to get caught inside the Venom, or inside the Serpent Wards from that Shadow Shaman. Got away with 0 mana and then got ultimated by that Anti-Mage. And that's another kill for him. And he, correct me if I'm wrong, but he still hasn't died.
I have not seen him die. I don't think he has any deaths. Priestess only has maybe 1 death as well, so both of these Scourge carries just very, very well protected and getting very farmed, I believe. As Anti-Mage I've just seen has Treads, Vanguard, and about 2k gold on him.
Yeah, I just saw that. Looks like there's going to be a Doom from that Doombringer on Anti-Mage, and then the stream freezes.
That would happen to me as well. I thought that was maybe just me. I'm refreshing my stream.
I wonder if it's an issue with like Toby's connection. Not sure.
I mean, he's had connection problems in the past, but I'm not entirely sure. It's back up for me now.
Back up for me. It must just be that own.tv is
Lagging every now.
falling apart. So yeah, it looks like this doomed anti-mage is going to sort of dance around and get hit by that ultimate. I'm not sure if he died. No, he did not die. He just barely got a value. Venomancer taking out Tidehunter, and we're going to see a little stop frame, and it looks like Doombringer going down as well. Monkey continuing to get ahead here. What, do you see any ways out of this situation for Virus? It seems like they're just falling farther and farther behind.
They're falling further and further behind, and they don't have any sort of long-term solution either. I mean, they haven't got the late game carries, they haven't got anything that can deal with an anti-mage at all. So I just don't see them getting back into this game any way possible. So, I mean, I don't like to call it too soon, but this is looking like one of those games where they just can't win. I mean, it's if you look at the score, you look at the farm, it looks somewhat close. I mean, Windrunner actually has decent CS.
Mm-hmm.
They're only behind by I can't actually, my screen's gone black again, so I can't see how many kills they're behind. But
they're down by 5 or 8
kills. Okay, 8 kills, but they're not getting destroyed. But at the same time, you can tell that Monkey have this game in the bag.
Right. So I think we are going to see Virus sort of continue to try and hold on to their towers and do their best, but it's definitely in a position where they are definitely behind, and they're looking for opportunities. I think at this point it's probably safe to say that Monkey's going to need to make a serious mistake and provide that window for Virus to catch up.
Absolutely. If that's the one way Virus can't get back in is if Monkey get overconfident, anti-mage goes off alone or something, gets picked off, dies a few times, and gives Sentinel an opportunity to push some towers. But it's going to require a huge mess up on Monkey's part for Virus to get back in this game, because right now they're just fighting a losing fight, and they're just going to slowly get further and further behind. Doom with 2k gold, not getting anywhere near any sort of radiance or any sort of carry item there, and none of these Sentinel heroes have any sort of key items that's going to even allow them to take this to late game at all.
Yeah, absolutely, and unfortunately it's one of those things where they've got a lot of deaths, and they've been dying repeatedly since the beginning of the game, which just has done... when you die at a low level, you only lose a little bit of gold, but the biggest issue is that you're just losing time. And I think what we're really seeing happening is this magnifying effect, where the deaths at the beginning of the game were just enough to provide that window that just started widening and widening.
Yeah, Dota's a game of small differences. Well, not really small difference. Small things making big differences. I mean, one kill, one rune can just change the complete flow of the game. Can decide who wins a lane, and the solo mid hero getting a rune or something and winning their lane because of it can just decide a game on its own. So really, you can't afford to have any small things going against you early on, and I think that's partly what's happened with this French team here.
Absolutely. Now, they were able to catch Crystal Maiden way out of position. I mean, no coverage there. Four members of the Radiant team, 4 members of Virus there at that middle lane. They are going to try and take out this tower, and they should be able to. Maybe, question mark. Missed arrow just a bit by Morana, actually catching a creep. She is forced to leap out, and actually it looks like the Dire are going to be able to defend here. Even when they're 4-pushing, they're just not able to get in there and close the tower gap.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I mean, as you said, they pick off a CM. That's pretty much the Dire don't even... I mean, obviously they don't want their CM to die, but that's basically just a meaningless kill. It's not going to help the Radiant get back into this game at all, because it's a CM, when the big heroes are the Priestess and the Anti-Mage, and even without a CM, they can still easily defend. CM doesn't really add much to the team fight, so not going to really help them all that much with a kill like that. And actually having 4 heroes spend a lot of time going for a CM kill is actually a waste of time, and just gives more room for the Anti-Mage and Priestess to just keep farming.
Absolutely true. Big ultimate hitting two members of Virus from that Venomancer. Ravage coming out, only catching one member. He does catch the Anti-Mage. We're going to see Ancient Apparition go down here after being hit by the Chain Lightning. He is not able to survive that combination of Chain Lightning plus Shackle, and Shadow Shaman gets that kill for 260. I think we're going to see Tidehunter go down real quick here too. Just waiting on those frames to come out and go away. Black screen. Why do you do this to me?
I'm back on the black screen as well, and I've been refreshing for the last 3 or 4 minutes. I'll catch like little 30-second snippets, and then they'll be gone again. So.
Yeah, I think it's an owned.tv issue. Looks like Toby is actually checking out his own stream. Once again, guys, I mean, I am sorry that we're hitting a black screen here. Unfortunately, there's only so much.
Everyone enjoying Dota IRC is apparently complaining about lag as well.
Yeah, it's an issue with owned.tv. I guess they just are not quite having the infrastructure to make this work as smoothly as we would like it to. It looks like Join Dota just going straight offline. Gonna cut away from that.
Yeah, I'm messaging the people in the ESWC representatives as well as Toby that there is some lag.
And so, guys, we are just offline right now. We are waiting for things to come back up.
Is yours back up? Mine's back up. We've just seen Morana get a double kill.
No, I'm watching Toby IRC.
Well, Join Dota should be back up now. Morana.
I'm refreshing it. No, it's showing me Toby's IRC.
Oh wow. Maybe I'm not sure what I'm watching. I'm watching something.
You're probably
Toby
ahead of me.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I don't know how you're so far ahead of me. Like that's okay. They're rushing now. Okay, surprise! Haha.
Okay, you're where I am, but what you've just missed maybe was a Morana basically team wiping the Sentinel team. Got a triple kill. 4 Virus heroes went down, and it wasn't good for Virus. As said, they needed to do something soon to change the situation they're in, and feeding Priestess 3 kills and giving Anti-Mage and Aegis is not what they wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Anti-Mage picked up that Aegis, which, you know, they're now 13 kills ahead, and oof.
Yeah, not at all looking good for Virus, and we're going to be seeing a final push coming out pretty soon, I imagine, and maybe some GG calls. Although there's a lot of heroes going top, looking for a gank on this Priestess, and Priestess going to have to try react. I can't actually see what's going on. I'm just looking at the mini-map, and there's like 4 Sentinel dots hovering around the Priestess. Toby was not on the ball for that kill.
Jesus. So yeah, it looks like Morana going down to a 4-man gank, and we did not get a shot of that. A little bit unfortunate there. Again. Yeah, I'm being told by...
Ras is drawing on the minimap, lines heading mid.
I'm being told by the own TV staff that it is, in fact, Toby lagging. So
okay.
Yeah.
Is that in IRC?
Yeah, that's in the Dota staff channel. So we are going to see a big push here. Ultimate hitting a lot of members. I think Venomancer is actually going to go down to this Shatter. Nope, Power Shot's just going to finish him off. Nice shot from that Windrunner. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. Ward's obviously hitting that Tier 3 tower in the mid, and Anti-Mage doing about half the damage to that Tier 3 tower at the bottom. Things a little bit, getting a little bit out of hand. I think we will see that GG relatively soon here after that final push in racks.
Yeah, it's very, very bad situation that Virus are in right now. They've got mech and pipe up on Windrunner. That's not going to help a whole lot. They need those hexes. They need more. I mean, more than that. Doom with a relic will have that radiance up, but it's going to be coming just too late. And this last hurrah from them is not going to be enough, as Scourge just have too many items, too much farm, and going to just be able to win these team fights pretty easily, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Morana with about 1,300 gold, plus a mana style, plus treads, plus full bottle, plus all sorts of exciting stuff. Whiffing an arrow, first arrow that's really missed by quite a bit. Anti-Mage getting a Doom and a lot of damage. He does, of course, have that Aegis, so he's just going to shrug it off. Shadow Shaman taking out Tidehunter with that Chain Lightning. Morana leaping forward and blowing away Vengeful Spirit. A little bit embarrassing, almost. That double damage is doing so much. Shadow Shaman actually getting a double kill, taking out Windrunner. Anti-Mage finishing off Ancient Apparition with that ultimate, and Doombringer just sort of running the heck away. He did dip into the Force. Looks like he's going to get caught here by the CM, and that'll give them just enough time for a genocide.
Yeah, never want to see. Rasa didn't even use Serpent Wards for that team fight, so they're going to get popped down to take out this Rax here. And that could be the end of Virus. Well, not the end, but just their first loss.
Yeah, they've obviously got a couple of the matches in the group stage here. We are, of course, looking to see who gets out of that pool of play and who gets out of those group stages.
It's a tough group too. I mean, Moscow 5, eHome, Monkey, and Virus all in Group A. So, I mean, probably slightly stronger than the other group, but the other group still has some very tough teams.
Absolutely. Well, if you look at the roster for teams that are playing in the ESWC, we're not really dealing with a bunch of slouches.
Yeah.
It's not your casual neighbor next door pro game.
Exactly. No.
Great arrow by Morana there, catching Doom right as his teleport finishes. Would have liked to see it from a little bit further away, but honestly, it just doesn't make that much of a difference at this point. The Radiant are about 16 kills behind, and lots of
Battle Fury and Mantis Style and Anti-Mage. There you go. Toby's popped it up. About 20,000 gold difference. Yeah, 20,000 difference in gold at the moment. So very, very one-sided.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. So I think with that mid set of barracks down, that's I think the final nail in the coffin. It's just a question of when is Monkey going to be able to get in there and put them in the coffin, if you will. Yeah, and it looks like they're headed top. We see a line drawing from Shadow Shaman. All members of the Team Monkey headed over there. Anti-Mage with his Battle Fury and Manta Style and Vanguard and Aegis starting things up for their team. If you had to pick one hero from the Radiant that you would have liked to swap out, who would you go with? Which pick do you think was bad?
I'd say the Ancient Apparition. It's just not. It didn't really fit into how they structured this draft. I mean, they didn't have any actual ganks going on. They were just too focused on their lanes, and basically AA had no impact on this game as a solo mid hero, which is not what you want from your solo mid hero. You want to be roaming around, helping push towers, helping win team fights, but AA just didn't have any impact on this game. I mean, I don't know whether the AA pick was the bad one, but they need to structure the draft more around that AA. Or they just need to not pick up the AA if they wanted to go with a draft like this.
Mm-hmm.
The Doom was another questionable pick, I'd say, as well. I would have liked to see them get something a bit more push and gank oriented rather than Doom, who was just going to sit bottom. And then they just had this trial lane top, which basically just sat top. They couldn't gank mid. Their Tide and VS were just stuck top, trying to stop the Anti-Mage from farming. Sure, they stopped him from farming, but it comes down to it. Priestess was farming, Rasa was winning mid, Rasa was roaming around, and AA couldn't roam because AA doesn't really have much roaming capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got all 5 members of Team Monkey on the bottom lane. They are about 16 kills ahead. That tower is already pretty low. Wards coming out of Shadow Shaman. This should be the last big fight. Cold Feet and a Shackle Shot on that Anti-Mage. It is going to hold him in place for a little while, but he is regenerating about 20 health per second. So hard to keep down. Like, they're just not even able to get in there and engage him correctly.
Yeah, and this, with bottom and mid racks gone, this could be pretty much GG, being called any second.
Anti-Mage taking out Tidehunter. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I said you could kind of tell where this game was going. I mean, from about 15 minutes ago, Monkey just had such a clear lead, and it was going to take a huge mess up for them to actually lose the game. But it's one of those things, as Virus, in a big term like this, you're still going to just keep playing it and in the hopes that they do make some kind of mistake.
Right. And I think we'll see this top tower go down here too, and that'll give them mega creeps. Ultimate hitting 3 members of the Radiant. They are going to go down pretty quickly here to the attacks from the Dire. Maybe even another Genocide. Ancient Apparition just taking so much damage, and that will do it for this game. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, so, I mean, Monkey just really taking advantage of any opening that Virus gave them. I mean, it wasn't so much that they had a pushing lineup, it was more just that when they got an advantage, they would push towers. As soon as they got ahead, as soon as there was a window of opportunity for them to actually push towers or get ganks, they'd take it. Whereas Virus just sat back and didn't really do a whole lot. They didn't put any pressure on Monkey at any point in this game. So that was really the main problem with this Virus draft, I feel.
Definitely. And, you know, I think the other thing, like you said, is that failure to really make a worthwhile pick. Just, it didn't happen at all. We are actually going to see the Ancient go down without any GGs called. Is that, I don't know if that's just like some BM out of Team Virus, or...
I wouldn't say so. It's more just, I mean, they're obviously wanting to play. They're going to go down fighting. They're not going to call GG before it's over. They'll probably, yeah, as I'd say, they'll probably do it in the end game, the post game chat.
Yeah.
These are pretty mannered teams, and you will see them calling.